Hello, I am Atacan. You can also call me Ata. In this shorts video, you'll discover what actually goes on in the kitchen, how recipes come together, and what you can do with various ingredients. We'll kick off this adventure with the first fermentation. The bacteria responsible for the fermentation process are typically referred to as lactic acid bacteria. These bacteria commonly ferment sugars into lactic acid and other byproducts. For instance, alcohol fermentation is typically carried out by yeast. In this process, yeast cells convert sugars into products such as alcohol and carbon dioxide. Common lactic acid bacteria and their characteristics include Lactobacillus bulgaricus, used in yogurt production, converts milk sugar, lactose, into lactic acid. Lactobacillus acidophilus, used as a probiotic, naturally found in the intestines, supporting digestive health. Lactobacillus plantarum, found in many vegetables and pickles, contributes to the preservation of fermented products by converting sugars into lactic acid. Resistant bacterial species, capable of working under various conditions. Streptococcus thermophilus, used in yogurt production, converts lactose in milk into lactic acid. Leuconostoc mesenteroides, can be found in fermented vegetables, especially in sauerkraut. Facilitates the fermentation of the product by converting sugars into lactic acid. Wine, when grapes are crushed or otherwise processed, fermentable sugars are released. Wine yeast, typically Saccharomyces cerevisiae, is added. Yeast converts fermentable sugars into alcohol and carbon dioxide. Barley malt is mixed with water in the mashing process to extract fermentable sugars. Beer yeast, typically Saccharomyces cerevisiae, is added. Yeast ferments fermentable sugars, producing alcohol and carbon dioxide. Cheese making typically begins with pasteurized or raw milk. The microorganisms commonly used in cheese production are usually lactic acid bacteria or yeasts. Lactic acid bacteria convert lactose in the milk into lactic acid, creating an acidic environment. This acidic environment determines the texture and consistency of the cheese. Due to the influence of lactic acid bacteria, the proteins in the milk, especially casein, begin to coagulate or clot. This coagulation process forms curds. These curds separate the liquid portion known as whey, and they constitute the fundamental building blocks of the cheese. In the process of making pickles, to initiate the fermentation process and support the naturally occurring lactic acid bacteria in vegetables, a starter from another fermentation is often added. These bacteria convert sugars into lactic acid, acidifying the environment. Lactic acid bacteria metabolize sugars, producing lactic acid and other organic acids. As the acidity increases, the growth of harmful microorganisms is inhibited, while the proliferation of desired lactic acid bacteria is encouraged.